Hello, good sir.
Hello there, how are you?
Hey, man, I'm okay. How are you?
Not bad, not bad.
I'm glad to hear that. I wanted to ask you, could you post the file for the flight plan at all? Because I don't know why I can't copy and paste it into little nav map and it's not
Sure.
happy with that.
Um, Let me switch over to that channel. Upload.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it will do it. Let me just see. Oh, no, it's good. It's good. It's good.
You're
I'm
good?
fine.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
usually if you
Yes.
copy paste that, there's a text box you can paste it into and it'll generate the flight plan.
Yes, I see. I had to do like a read plan and then create, which is cool.
Right. There's not really anywhere to post that I'm streaming on the Sky Park server. I don't want to spam it, so.
That's all good.
Are you getting any kind of echo when I talk?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm streaming using a different setup than I usually do, so I wanted to make sure it was okay.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey,
Hello,
how are you?
sir.
Using that term loosely, of course.
Very,
Yes,
very
yes.
loosely in my case.
One has to.
So I finally made it to one of your flights. It's been a while.
It has. I set up OBS to stream this time, so we'll see how that comes out.
Oh, right, because you were using something else before, right?
I was just streaming using the NVIDIA stuff, yeah.
Right, Shadow Play.
Whatever it is, whatever's built into the GeForce. And it
Right.
worked. I mean, it worked very reliably, but it's not it's not the same, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to
Yeah,
get
I've been using OBS this whole time, and it's been, I mean, it works.
Oh, I've used OBS in the
Mhm.
past. It is a great,
Okay.
but I just hadn't optimized or played with it since I started my new setup. So, oh yeah, it displays well. Okay, you can actually see my ugly face now.
You got a face cam?
I
You have
got
a face?
I have a face.
That was going to be my next
Shit.
question.
Yes,
Wow,
as
the Wright
scary as it
brothers.
is.
The Wright Brothers National Memorial. I've never been here before.
It's
That's
right there.
cool.
You can see it from the. By the way, I'm in parking spot 5, just so you don't spawn on top of me in case you were. Oh, I see. You're over there to
Oh,
the left. You're
yeah,
looking right at the
yeah.
monument. Yep. So
Man,
what I did last flight is at the end of the flight I taxied up that hill so I could get a close look at the monument.
you use that drone cam.
Oh come on, that's for amateurs. I taxied my damn plane right up that hill.
That's true. That is for amateurs, right?
If I'm going to break the rules, I'm going to break them in style. I'm going to taxi a Cessna up to the thing.
Right?
Break it hard, maybe break it hard.
If I'm going to do something that's likely to get me arrested, I may as well do it in style. Yeah, so I've got a little nav map up now, and I've got the chat text, so if somebody types, I can see it. And looks like it's
Yeah,
working
you
pretty
have
good.
You're like
Although the
organized.
chat text isn't auto updating for some reason. If that window's not in focus, it doesn't seem to post the text, which is weird. That's really strange. Oh well. That'll be a problem for next time.
but with the you have a lot of good options for your stream because you have that really wide aspect ratio.
Yeah,
You have a lot
yeah.
of that room at the bottom.
Yep. But the for some reason the
Chat window isn't
Jen
updating?
was with me when I drove up to the monument last week. Yeah, the chat window that you see on the thing doesn't update unless I flip over to that window and make it active. OBS isn't capturing it when it's in the background for some reason. So I'll have to play with that next time. That's not a today problem. I can still see it because I have it on the side on my end, so. Oh, And do my run-up stuff here. I let the automatic thing do those for me because I'm lazy.
I won't be able to do the whole flight. I'll just see how far I can get before I go to bed.
Before you zonk out, yeah.
Before I'm a zonky nut.
I'm going to start at 1,500 feet when we take off for target altitude. And based on the wind, it looks like we want to use runway 20.
I'm getting 18 knots, 273.
Yeah, but there's not a 27 runway, I don't believe.
No, so yeah, that's
20
close.
is the closest. Yeah, I'm getting 18 knots at about the same. 17 knots, 18 knots, somewhere in that area.
It's a pretty good wind. And
Yep.
Almost pretty darn cross, too.
Pretty close to cross, yep. So we'll want to keep that in mind when we take off. You still spawning, Dusty?
Yeah, the game's booting up.
Okay. No rush.
What's the code? Airport?
Kilo Foxtrot Foxtrot Alpha. That thing with the chat really annoys me.
There's I don't use it, but I see plenty of people use it. We'll look it up and get you the right thing.
Yeah, there's got to be a setting or something. I'm just doing a window capture.
Right. And what you need is a direct feed.
Yeah, I've got to get a plug-in with a direct feed. But I assumed that it would capture. Now I'm wondering if it's going to capture a little nav map, because that's not a visible window to me either. That's a background window.
It's not an OBS thing. It's a Twitch thing.
Okay.
If you're just capturing the Twitch browser page.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Twitch is going to optimize and say, "Oh, you're not looking at this? Well, you don't get anything until you come look at it."
That's stupid. Okay.
You have a very impressive cat tree, or what do they call those things behind you?
Cat tree. Yeah, yep. We might get a glimpse of the goober monster back there while we're flying. He's my co-pilot.
Where do you think cats come from? They come from cat trees.
Yep.
The goober monster.
Well, his official name is Gouda, like the cheese, but he's a doofus, so I call him Goober Monster. He's 10.5 months old and 12.3 pounds. He's a big boy.
So still little. A big boy, but a little boy.
Well, he's got a lot of growing left, so that's the thing. Oh, Dusty, you're in a different skin.
Well, I'm using the Bush League Legend skin.
Okay.
So it's whatever.
If you look at my stream, it substituted it with the Flight Sim limited
the new winter
stream. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I am going to begin my taxi.
Wait, I'm out of West. Oh, okay. You are using West USA. I keep thinking you're East Coast.
No. West of Mississippi. Yeah, I know. It was close. We might have touched wings a little there.
My mixture was set at 0, so
a little clipping over wings.
Makes it a little hard to start the plane when your mixture's at 0.
Well, it started fine, and then it died while I was looking outside the window. Am I already complaining? No, that's parking brake. I thought that was pitot heat. A little worried about the temperature.
It's 9 Celsius. Yeah, that is pretty much going to be a crosswind taking off. That windsock is out straight too.
Yeah, 270 on runway 20 will be like 70 degrees.
Yep.
I'm full. I can't even turn that way. My
Real-
tail is just weather veining in.
Whoa, I'm going to the bushes here. What the hell is
Yeah,
going
what do you
on?
do? Where are you going?
Right, never mind. I died again. It always
Again?
happens.
Already?
I don't know what's happening, man. It's been all like skew. I don't know what's
There's
going
the
on there.
first flight museum off to your, when you get to the end of the runway, it'll be off to your right.
Well, now a little cross in the trees there to my left that has been snuffed.
Oh, that's a good view of the
What?
monument.
God,
from here.
that's a full deflection on the windsock there.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God.
what I'm saying.
I'm having
See
to
what's happening.
full right rudder and full right brake to stay on the runway.
Just a taxi.
Yep.
Should be a fun takeoff.
This is a very apt place to die.
Yeah, your last flight at first flight.
I just popped out for a screenshot. Hi. Hi. Ah!
Hi, I don't have all that many options, so I'm just going through you.
Oh, because there was a turnaround there, you know, but it's okay. I'll pull ahead a little more.
No, you're good.
What's the length of this runway?
All right. It seems like something weird is happening here.
Oh wow! Holy crap! And you're going the wrong way.
You're
The
off
wind's
again?
blowing the other way.
I can't even taxi to you.
What plane are you in?
I'm just in the 172, but I think I think what happened is I went from the clear sky to the live weather, and then the wind was blowing me across, and then I was like getting all weird.
Oh,
That's-
so the wind went from 0 to 18.
Yeah, I think that's
flat.
what happened.
Maybe start
Okay,
in clear
here we
sky
go.
taxi up and then switch it.
Yeah.
I'm starting from live so that I can adjust. Okay, here we go.
I taxied up no problem, so I don't know what the deal is.
I think it's just, that you have finesse expertise and you're
don't.
an overall nice guy.
I literally just set the controls straight and taxied up the runway.
You make it sound so easy.
Are you sure you've got live weather?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Not
did.
the clear weather bug?
Me?
I'm
I
good
know.
now.
I know I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got clouds. I've got 2956 on the altimeter.
2956.
2955. I just double checked it. The cheaty way by hitting B.
We're at 10 feet. That checks out.
Yep. Okay, I think I see a plane coming at me. Maybe you should just pick up speed and get yourself right in the air. well, you have a chance to. Based on that taxi, have you been drinking or?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Let me know when you're turned around, and we'll fire up the old. Here, I'll pull ahead a little. It's a little crowded down here. Dusty, you just literally slewed on me. Oh, we're taking off? Okay. Let's go.
I believe so. Oop.
Let's do it.
Over. I didn't move an inch, so.
Oh. Yeah, you're playing like slid
I need to
sideways.
get this thing in the air. Oh god, it runs into the wind.
What the hell is going on, man?
I don't know what you guys' problem is. I'm doing just fine here. I went a little faster than I wanted to before.
Aircraft.
I think I'm up in the air.
I'm trying to get
I
up over
can't be
these
sure,
trees.
but I'm still alive.
Oh, I'm crabbing big time now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Somebody's going straight up behind me. I think that must be, I don't have tags on, so.
Right. I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay.
I'm a bit ahead of both of you guys.
Well, there's the surprise with your 6,000 horsepower plane.
No, it's 215.
Which is what, 100 more than I'm packing?
I don't know what the Cessna has.
Yeah. It's probably more than that. I don't know.
I believe the base Cub, X Cub, has basically the Cessna engine. But then it's a lot lighter.
Well, I'm good. I'm glad to report that I don't have snow everywhere now,
That's
so
an
that's
improvement.
good.
Yeah, see? Things are getting better. I'm just trying to figure out where you all are. Oh, I see a plane off to my, about my 8 o'clock. Really low.
That'd be creative, and I'm up at your, like, 11 o'clock. 1,200 feet.
Yeah, I can't.
Actually, not 1,200 because I didn't do the barrow on my Garmin. I only did the barrow on the other thing.
Okay.
Mississippi, but
I'm at 13 now.
800 feet.
Oh, you're at 800?
Yeah, 900.
Oh, there you are. Yep. Okay, I see you now. Now that I've cheated and used outside view to figure out basically where you guys are, I can...
Rest easy.
Well, easier anyway. Yeah, other than the Twitch not updating, this, I think I like this layout for me. You're right, the ultra-wide gives me a little more real estate to work with.
Mm-hmm.
At the expense of the stream itself being smaller, of course. The game itself. A half hour...
There's nothing really...
Less than an hour...
There's nothing really you can do about that.
No, I know. Less than an hour before we were due to start, I was looking on YouTube, and that Kiwi guy was doing a live group flight, and I'm like, I want to be in on that, but I don't have time. He was flying, they were doing landings at Lukla. And
I don't know what that is.
That's in the Himalayas. It's one of the toughest airports in the world. 200-foot strip with a cliff.
Oh, jeez. Is it up
2,000-foot strip with a cliff.
That's child's play.
Yeah, for your plane. It's at, by the way, it's at like 13,000 feet altitude too.
13,000, yeah, that poses a bit of that's some high density altitude right there.
So they were doing it with they flew up there and they took he and most of them were taking King Airs, and I'm like, I wouldn't put a King Air on a 2,000-foot runway at sea level on a good day, you know. Two of them, as far as I could tell, had yeah, two of them, as far as I could tell, had TBMs. At least those you can do it, but I wouldn't.
Oh, because they're like little rockets.
Yeah, and you can bring them down to 80 knots and maintain air. So I don't know what airport that is off to our left. I can't see it on my screen. It's too small. Dare County Regional.
That's it.
So we're about to fly before we turn left. We're going to fly over part of the Alligator River National Wildlife Refuge ahead,
which is also apparently a bombing range.
Yeah, why not?
So what wildlife do they have there? I'm assuming
alligators.
Well, it's Alligator River that dumps
things, which may not be.
These are some nice bridges here, though, huh? These two long bridges. They're crazy.
Very long.
I'm sure Dusty's got his wheels bouncing off him down there or something.
I just about got my wings bouncing off of your wheels.
Oh, yeah, there you are.
Those big tubes, those big tires.
Or you think these tires are big? Bush League Legends has put out this this update. It's called the Tundra or the Alpine, or it's the Tundra, and it's got like some 30-some odd inches bush wheels, bush tires.
I see that they call it the monster truck of the skies.
I was just gonna say like the kind of tires that you put on a truck you're gonna off road.
Yeah, but they've also put out this guy Carbon Prop. It's also made floats for the X Cub.
Yep.
And skis for the X Cub.
Wow, skis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this flight and the next couple are really going to be focused on just getting us down to South Florida, and then I've got some places for us to land and go, stop and things like that.
Cool.
I'm thinking we might actually land on the shuttle landing strip when we get there. We just have to take back off before NASA scrambles somebody to arrest us.
Or just engage our Romulan cloaking devices.
That's true, yeah. So the only thing with that is I'm not sure. Will your X Cub land in a runway that's that short? It's only 15,000 feet.
Well, so there is a maximum length. I just can't land on a runway more than 10,000.
Oh, okay. So you'll have to land next to us in the grass or something then.
Yep, I can do that. That is allowed. Oh, the crabbing is unreal.
Yeah, mine's doing it pretty bad. And I'm bouncing a little bit too. I was almost wondering about going up 500 feet just to see if it smoothed out the air a little bit, but that wind will get worse. We're flying almost straight into it right now.
26 knots from the front.
Yeah, it's going to be 26 knots from the 4 o'clock after we make this turn, so that'll be even worse.
For a 172, is 26 knots not above its operational limits?
It's not recommended.
Yeah, I thought it was like by 15 knots you got to kind of consider whether or not to fly.
Yeah, it's not recommended. But thankfully I'm not in a real 172, so
15 knots, I think that would be cross.
Yeah, I think that's cross.
Yes,
Crosswinds takeoffs and or landings.
Head and tailwinds aren't as bad once you're up.
No, once you're off the ground, it's the gusts that matter.
By the way, I realized I was at full throttle. I just dropped back to 75%, so I'm going to come down to around.
No wonder I was catching up with you.
Yeah, I'm going to come down to around 110 knots. Probably should have told you that. I figured you'd just be doing loops or circles around me anyway with that plane. It's so fast.
There are many trees out here. Holy schmoly.
Yeah, it's just one giant blanket of trees.
Yep.
Want to get me my napalm add-on.
So I noticed something odd.
What's that?
So, Perry, you're crabbing like crazy, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't think... Oh, maybe our fuselages are lined up. Because it looks like on my screen, your plane is pretty much lined up with our direction of travel.
It's not too far off. I'd say I'm 10, 12 degrees off. The wind is almost straight on right now. Of course, I'm about to change that.
Not on me. I got a 16-knot crosswind with a 21-knot headwind.
I don't know. I'm on live weather and I'm getting 27. Well, now it's a dead crosswind as I make this turn.
Yeah. Now I got 27 cross.
Now I'm flying sideways. Put on a little more steam here, just a little bit. I'm losing airspeed like crazy.
What I was trying to determine is if our fuselages aren't lined up the same way, and we both have the same wind, that means that my game is rendering you just with your nose pointed towards your ground track rather than your wind track.
Maybe. Because you look like you're going pretty
That's
straight
right.
behind me, actually. I know, your tail's aligned with mine. I'd say it looks like we're at about the same...
Yeah, now it does. I'm wondering if your crosswind was slightly
Can you get a little bit closer? I don't think you're scratching the paint on my tail yet.
I was gonna. There's a little spot of schmutz on your elevator there. I was gonna reach out and clean it off. Just give you an extra.
Whoa!
Like,
he's zooming in on
extra
the back
quarter
of us
knot.
there. Somebody might have put NOS in his Cessna. I came really close to buying.
Not a good time.
I came really close to buying the 182 this morning.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
really thinking about it.
So did you
Don't think, man. Don't think. Just pull the trigger.
guys see the Waco, the biplane that just came out of?
I hate that thing, dude. I hate the look. I hate everything about it. Maybe I'm just not cultured
Are you
enough.
serious? That thing is gorgeous.
I hate it.
I want to make
I hate
love
it.
to
I hate that you can't see jack shit out of the thing. It looks like it flies
Well,
through
that is true.
like mud just getting it off.
Wait a minute,
I hate
can't
that.
see
But
jack
anyway,
shit
I
out of
know
it.
it's-
Can't see jack shit out of the thing is a qualifier for almost any tail dragger when it's on the ground at least.
That's true. That's true. But geez, man, that thing. I can't.
Yeah, I don't think I would want it. I don't think I would buy it. I don't think I'd want to fly it. I can appreciate its aesthetic for those who are into that kind of thing, but I'm not. Not something I would
Well,
spend $20 or whatever on.
the thing looks gorgeous.
Well, it's beautifully
Like,
done.
Inside
That's
out.
true. That's true.
It's nearly immaculate.
It is beautifully done. I will give it that. Somebody was saying that the game wasn't designed to do biplanes though, and I'm like, a biplane comes with it. I'm pretty sure they would have, you know.
Well, I mean, just like the flight model doesn't support canards.
Yeah.
Yes.
It probably doesn't really register as two wings. You probably just have one wing standing in for two wings. Or something like that. If that's what they're talking about.
That's interesting because even the way in which I've heard that there's absolutely no modeling of like prop wash or any air passing from the propellers or anything. So how does that get added later on if that's like fundamentally the structure of the... I mean, how can like a developer say, you know, a better flight model when they also are working with the same foundation?
I don't know about that because I know the P factor is involved, and I know there's some. I know that you're going to need some rudder input based on high thrust and whatnot. So I would think that prop wash is in there, at least in some fashion.
Where the hell am I going?
I don't know. You're just crossing in
come
front of
back.
us.
I realize that now.
It's okay.
You'd think I was drunk. You'd think it, but I'm not.
Well, I mean, it's a flight sim.
How
You're
bizarre.
totally allowed.
No, I want to be a responsible person. I don't want to cross your path and make you nervous.
I've been thinking about playing around with the 152 Aerobat a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
I haven't done anything even remotely aerobatic, and I figured that's a good one for me to kind of cut my teeth on.
So it's basically
It's got
an
a little,
identical plane, but structurally it's reinforced. So I guess in the game, if you have damage,
It's a lighter.
and
The
overstress
the
turned
150
on-
the 152
Oh,
is a
is
lot
it?
lighter than the 172, and it's got a small. It's got a. I think the new
Oh no, I
152
mean
is a
compared
similar
to
engine.
compared to the regular 152.
Oh yeah. But I've only flown the regular
it's got that
152
little-
like once, so
it's got that little G meter.
right.
Does it? Because it's the
And I believe
Aerobat?
it's got. I believe it. The 150 Aerobat had two little sunroofs above, so you could see the ground when you're upside down.
It does.
does.
It does. It's
It
got
does.
nice little. It's got light. Nice
Yeah.
little light that comes in. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you visibility for those high G maneuvers.
Yeah. And then I figure if I can get to the point where I'm comfortable in that, I'll try out the a couple of the like the biplane in there that's designed to be an aerobatic plane.
Oh yeah.
My thing is usually I want to go somewhere, so just going up in the air and flying around and landing back at the same place to me isn't that exciting. So.
Yeah, I really like the just VFR flying around places aspect of this.
Yeah, even though I use autopilot assist a lot, that's kind of what it's about for me too, is seeing things, going places that I wouldn't otherwise go. Like the first flight monument is not documented as something I don't think that's in the game. The first flight airport is obviously hand rendered, and it's not listed as one of the hand rendered airports in the game. But you can see they put the attention to detail there, and it's like that's kind of like a little Easter egg to me, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of Easter eggs, I was watching a car video this morning about the new Bronco that's coming out, the new Ford Bronco. And they have an Easter egg in the thing. If you take the top off, one of the roll bar rails has a set of GPS coordinates stamped in it. And those are the GPS coordinates to where they shot the intro video for the vehicle when it was first being launched and introduced 6 months ago.
Well, you know, I was gonna buy one, and now you just spoiled it for me.
All right, he's such a spoiler alert. Now
But the guy doing the review wouldn't reveal what those coordinates are. He just said they're somewhere in the western U.S. That's all I'm going to say. And he didn't show them, so you can't go look it up. But I'm sure the second day they're on the market, somebody's going to have it posted all over the internet. You know.
I like real Easter eggs as well, just by the by.
Like the candied ones, yeah, those are good.
Ones.
Yeah.
I like the
Cad. I really like the Cadbury's eggs a lot. The ones with the.
Oh.
Yeah. Another 2 months you'll be able to buy those around here, and then we usually stock up and get a few extras to save for later.
Yeah, man, that's the way. I like your style.
So we'll follow this trail of the islands, the Hatteras Islands, down most of the way to Wilmington. And I originally had us landing at Wilmington International, but then I'm like, who wants to land at a big airport like that in these planes? So I found a little airport just south of it that we're going to land at. Like it's literally 2 minutes south of Wilmington.
So people live on this strip?
Yeah, we're coming across a town
nuts.
up ahead. Yeah.
Nuts,
Probably,
man. This is
beach
cool.
houses and summer homes and shit.
Yeah. It's where
Jeez, man, it's so narrow. It's amazing.
Yep. And this, by the way, is a hurricane zone.
I was about to say, as long as hurricanes don't come along, you're fine.
Yeah. I'm sure just insuring a house on this island is bank breaking.
Yeah, don't expect it to still be standing 20 years later.
You can just take a bicycle ride up and down the length of it, and there you go.
I think that'd be quite a bicycle ride.
Yeah, that'd be quite a bicycle ride. This strip is got to be 70 or 80 miles long.
The seas are a bit uneven down here.
A little rough, are they?
Not too bad.
Or do you mean the glitch?
No, I mean the winds are fairly high.
Oh, okay. Because I've got I installed a fix for the elevations, and it's done a lot. It was on that flightsim.to site, and it's done a lot to fix elevations of things in the U.S. There's another one for Europe, I believe.
Have you seen the guys who worked on the VFR package for Europe, where they added almost every tower and power line and all that shit? It's very cool.
Yeah, I don't do much flying in Europe, or else I'd be installing that.
So cool. And they've done like 5,500 towers
So what did
That's
they do? They
crazy.
basically, I mean, because the U.S. has some very detailed sectionals. I don't know if Europe has that.
Well, what they did, which is clever, they just used like OpenStreetMap, and they just
Ah,
like created like this auto-generated populated thing that did it all for them.
okay. So
Pretty cool.
so that was their source.
That's a camper resort I'm flying over right now. I've got it on my side
So the
view.
RV park.
RV
Yeah.
park, yeah, you can totally tell. And there was a hotel resort next to it. Yeah, those are some expensive homes down there, especially those ones on right out on the water.
Wow, it's 30 knots now, guys. That's quite something.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, 31 knots. At least it's almost a headwind versus it being coming at us from the side. And it's a clear day. That was what I was hoping for, because I always run live weather, so if it wasn't clear, we weren't going to be seeing much.
Well, that's lucky then.
Yep. You can see my steering wheel rig behind me.
Oh, you're also a bit of a driver there.
I do truck sim.
Oh, I see. I was about to say, I was like, are you the kind of racy kind of chap? I don't know.
I've done like some of the Forza Horizon stuff, because I like the concept of driving cars fast on the road. I don't really do a lot of the competitive stuff in those games. I just go out and drive around in whatever car. My problem is Forza 3 and 4, they drive on the wrong side of the road, so.
Yeah, that's true.
At least wrong to my brain. So where we make our next turn is going to be near Cape Hatteras, which is consistently wiped out by hurricanes pretty much every time a major hurricane comes through. But they keep rebuilding it.
That's crazy. That's interesting. I mean, in South Africa, we've got no kind of extreme weather like that. And I always thought to myself, geez, if you live in one of those areas and you know it's coming and you know there's a good chance, it's like you just stick around there, I guess. I don't know.
No, most people, the smart people, evac. They're like, okay, a hurricane's coming, because you have like 3 days notice when a freaking hurricane's coming at you. So this was one of my things when that whole Hurricane Katrina thing happened. Is, dudes, there's a Category 5 hurricane coming at you. What do? We're going to stay in the city of New Orleans. Why? The city is literally below sea level. Leave. You know?
Yep. So those early warning systems are so much better now by the sounds of it then.
Oh yeah, I mean with satellites and everything, they track these storms for days. You know, I mean, admittedly, storms do change. Sometimes they change course or strength at the last minute, but the predictive models on them are so good now that they've, you know, every day you watch, because they start out with a cone of here's the potential area it can hit. And each day that cone just, you know, it shrinks and changes angle a little bit as the thing's course refines. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I'm 250 miles from the coastline here, so if a hurricane hits the Texas coast, by the time it gets to me, it's heavy rain at most. So.
Yeah, more to a tropical storm rather than
not even
hurricane.
Not even a tropical storm. I mean, 250 miles is a long ways for a storm to maintain any steam. When that Category 4 or whatever hit Galveston and Houston last year or the year before, by the time it got up here, it was, you know, heavy rains, some wind, nothing damaging.
Man, when I saw that movie Twister when I was younger, I wanted to be a storm chaser so bad and release like little robots into the Twister and have the, you know, and analyze it. It was so cool.
Those we get here, Twisters.
Those are so cool, man.
Where I live, we've had probably 3 funnels form in the last 8 years. within the city or the metropolitan area. But what happens is around the edges, the storms will get a lot more violent, heavier winds, more apt to be tornadoes, usually worse hail. Hail is the biggie where I am. I had a car get pretty good hail damage a few years ago. It was all
So
covered.
how big were those stones that fell?
The ones that hit my car were probably a little smaller than a golf ball.
Wow, that's enough to do something.
Yeah. In 2000, there's videos on YouTube from 2010, 2011, a storm hit Oklahoma City that had football-sized.
Wow.
American football-sized. But I mean, that's about the size of a soccer ball, too. So it's, yeah, we're talking, yeah. And those just destroy. I mean, that hits your roof, it's coming right through. There's this,
Those are killers.
Oh, yeah. There was a guy who videoed, and it showed him hitting his swimming pool. And it looked like bombs going off in the swimming pool when these suckers landed. And I had a friend of mine who her car was not garaged, and she showed pictures. It looked like somebody rolled it over 4 times. It was destroyed, completely totaled. She's like, yeah, I paid it off 6 months ago.
That's great.
Yeah, so she still had full insurance on it, so insurance paid for it, and she had to take, she had to pay a loan for the difference to get a new car, but yeah, it's crazy. But what happens is here in the metropolitan area that I'm in, which is Dallas-Fort Worth, where I'm right between the two cities, is I think it has. This is Perry science, by the way. So any meteorologists who listen to this are probably gonna tell me I'm full of shit. But I have this theory that because there's so much buildup in concrete and construction, that it's warmer air in the city or in the city areas. Warmer air is higher pressure, so it pushes that severe weather outward. And right around the edges, they'll get literally 4 times as bad, the storm will be, than it is within, 4 miles closer to me. And I'm far enough in, so we don't see the really severe stuff. Like I say, we've seen a couple of funnels form. I can recall 3 times in 8 years, having the alarm, hearing the sirens go off, warning us. And in one of the cases, it was 6 or 7 miles away. In one of the cases, it didn't form. I don't think the funnel formed. And in the most recent one, a partial funnel formed about 1.5 miles from my house. Because tornadoes will just rip a town, or, they'll just cut a swath right through your town. It's crazy. And tornadoes, like earthquakes, you don't have a lot of freaking warning that things coming. I mean, there's a storm, so you do know something could happen, but it's not like 2 days in advance that you're going to get a tornado.
Those funnels are getting closer, boy. They're getting closer.
Yeah. And that's what I say is with hurricanes, at least you've got a couple of days to evac or whatever. I'm up to a 33 knot headwind, by the way, right now. So
I'm down here on the ground.
My ground.
I've got a 17.
I'm 30. I'm 32.
My ground speed. My
here.
ground speed is only 89 knots. Yeah, I see both of you. You're both at about my 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I got 103 knot ground speed.
Dusty, are you landing on that beach or?
No, I'm at about 80 feet.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. No, 110. Altimeter updated.
Yeah, I've got a 2.9 or 5.8 on my altimeter right now.
Same.
I'm going to come down to 1,000 feet and see if that helps the situation a little.
The beach was clear, so I was legal. There were no structures below 500 feet. But now there's a constant row of houses, and I'm totally illegal.
I mean, legally, you could land on that roadway right there, so. Unless
in an emergency.
Unless there's some local or state ordinance against it, you can anyway. There's no federal. The FAA has no rule about landing on roads.
That is true, but states typically do.
Yes. Which I think Idaho is one of the ones that doesn't, because I know there's a couple of places in Idaho that are famous for planes just landing on the road.
Yeah, exactly.
What
And
if you just do a little landing, a little touch, and go quick?
Well, there are rules about being 500 feet, within 500 feet of any people or structures
Yes.
in flight. So, I don't know.
So land outside of town and taxi in. That's the deal.
Right.
Just land very quietly.
Yeah, I'll dead stick it. Just to be sure.
Yep, so this is Hatteras coming up, and there's a famous lighthouse on that little point that sticks to the inward, like it'd be on your right as you're coming up to the mass of land there. But of course it's not going to be represented in the sim. The Cape Hatteras Lighthouse.
I wish things like that, bridges, lighthouses,
were more
those
rendered
kind of
than
things.
they are.
I mean,
yeah.
there's got to be.
It will be one of those like worldwide. Now all lighthouses are there. All this is there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I hope it's just one of those things that sooner or later they'll put them in, because they're so prominent.
They are. Oh, I was reading that wrong. That's not where the lighthouse is. The lighthouse is actually inland a little bit.
Right, I see it.
Right
Cape
past
Hatteras?
this town. Right, yep, the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse.
Cape Hatteras Lighthouse.
Right after
Actually,
we
it
go
says
over
Cape
Buxton.
Hatteras Lighthouse original location.
Oh, mine doesn't say that. On Google
well,
Maps.
I'm on Google Maps satellite.
That's what I'm on.
So Cape Hatteras Lighthouse original location.
Oh, it does now. Now that it's zoomed in.
KFFA
So then actual inland, you'll see the actual new lighthouse.
Right.
Yeah, that was what I was seeing before. Yeah, we're actually, the turn is right over that. VPGHI is where I'm turning in.
Yeah, it's right here. And of course, it's just some buildings.
Yeah.
But I see the parking lot and everything.
There's a Napa Auto Parts here if you need or in a pizza joint too. You want to stop and grab a lunch. You know?
Sweet.
That's what I like about
steaks and pizza.
That's what I like about Google Maps. Yeah.
You can actually see the lighthouse in the ground, and there's a round building there, but it's not tall. But you can see the image of it on the ground.
I'm doing a top-down.
Oh, you can see it burnt in, like baked in.
Yeah, from the overhead imagery.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a start.
Half baked is better than not baked at all.
Yep.
35 and 36 knots, guys.
Yeah, I got 34, but 35, yep. Yeah, dropping down to 1,000 feet didn't really help me any there.
No, you have to drop to 100 feet.
Nope. Not gonna happen.
Well, these trees could use a trim.
I like the scenery better
Damn.
when I have a little bit of altitude.
Yep.
I'm doing bird watching down here.
You can count leaves from where you are.
Well, if I slow down to 50 knots, I could.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what you're doing is bird scaring, actually.
That's true.
Somewhere I landed in the sim, and now I can't remember where. There was a warning on the because I have it to show. I have the only pop-up thing I have turned on is for fauna. So if there's animals, right? And one of the airports I was landing at, and I can't remember where it was now, had a warning that there were birds. It had a thing that said birds in the air near this airport, or something to that effect.
Okay. Guys, are we landing at this airport or no?
I'm not. I'm going
No, I
straight
don't
on.
think so.
I don't have it. I don't
cool,
generally
man.
do multiple landings, just so you know. depending on where. I mean, again, this is just we're just going down the coast here, so.
You're not a multiple landing kind of guy.
I am.
I mean, I do if there's a reason, but I don't. There was nothing here that excited me enough to do it. Is the whole point.
Dude, but pizza.
We're about to fly over the
pizza.
We're about to fly, yeah. We're about to fly over the graveyard of the Atlantic Museum. That's the thing with Cape Hatteras. It's got like the highest number of shipwrecks in North America or in the world off its coast. Like there's just mega shipwrecks all over the place, I guess, in the water. Divers go there. Hatteras Inlet Crab Spawning Sanctuary. That sounds interesting.
Crab spawning sounds like a world dominating strategy, just waiting to mix with some
it could
nuclear
be
power plant. Crab spawning, nuclear power plant.
People.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna do a quick touch and go.
Go for
Do it. Do a touch and go and do a little loop-de-loop.
No, just a touch and go.
I was pushing for it.
I'm doing an outside view so I can see it.
Yeah, good idea. Pick up a pizza, do a loop-de-loop.
First, with this 17-knot headwind, it's getting pretty interesting. Okay, I did about 4 or 5 bouncy touches and goes.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but in the sim, if you're in the air and a plane is on the ground, the lights don't show for that plane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could see you on the ground, but your lights went out as soon as you touched the ground. And as soon as you were in the air again, they came back. I've noticed that before.
For group flights, I usually just keep my landing lights on.
Yeah, but even like your marker lights, the red and green lights.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The nav lights and the...
Yep.
Huh.
You go dark, basically. I've noticed that on our group flights before. Because you're usually ahead of me. You'll land, and I'll be like, yep, he's gone. He's disappeared. I mean, your plane is there, but it's harder for me to spot if I'm a few miles out.
Right.
Confused Dad's about to fly over the crab spawning sanctuary.
I'm looking, man. I'm looking.
You're looking for the crabs?
It's cool. Looking for the spawner. Hey, there's a little boat. There's a little boat in front of one of the houses.
I mean, if you go to the wrong side of town, you might find a crab spawning sanctuary.
Pick up some crab spawners. Wow, that's actually quite disturbed. I'm actually a little bit disturbed.
Perfect. Mission accomplished.
Nah. Who am I kidding?
You guys know this is a fucking PG stream, right?
There we go. And we're keeping it that way. We're using complex innuendo to suggest certain images.
I think the joke was that he said it's a fucking PG stream.
I thought so too, but I just thought I'd roll with it. Wow, that's so disturbing. It just keeps coming back to me. Look, Mommy, it's a crab spawner. No, that's Auntie Mary.
So much for innuendo.
Now be nice.
Woo!
No, Steve, it was a PG stream until you said the F word the second time.
Yeah, now it's PG-13.
You're only allowed one F.
Yeah, it's true.
Actually, you're right. PG-13, I think.
Yeah.
I think PG? Of course, you're allowed to say shit as much as you want.
Right. Now you guys got me thinking of the old George Carlin routine, the 7 words you can never say on television.
Right.
Oh boy.
But you can say on Twitch.
We are not going to say them today.
Nope.
Mainly because I can't remember them in the proper sequence. So.
Right. Yeah, it's been too long, or else I'd be able to just roll them all off like he does.
Same here. Not that I ever listened to any of his stuff, because that would be, yeah.
That would be blasphemy.
He was
That would be inappropriate.
He was one of the greats.
Mm-hmm.
My Fitbit. You haven't walked at all this hour. No, I haven't. I'm flying an airplane.
You can't put that for exercise, hey? You can't say flying. Well, guys, I got an email today talking about Fitbit. I think mine that I put in my drawer like 2 years ago. I get emails down then, and it said that after 13 years, that's how old the company is, they've been acquired by Google.
Yep, I got that email yesterday or the day before. That I knew that acquisition happened, but they're now officially announcing it. It's been in the works for probably a couple of months.
So wait, Google wants more user data? I'm sure.
Yep.
Of course they do. That's what they're all about. They already own my soul. They are my digital soul. So our house is fully connected with Google equipment. And, I mean, it's just, yeah. 10 Google Homes, so we're always being listened to.
I've already accepted
Holy
my internet overlords.
Yep. I'm ready for Skynet.
The guy who's making it happen, the guy's... go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, the guy who's making it happen, Mr. Elon Musk, is an ex-South African. Go figure.
And he's terrified. And he's terrified of AI.
Thing.
He is
he's like, yes,
terrified.
I'm really afraid, but
yeah,
I'm really scared. But what I'm going to do is put little wires and chips inside a pig's head.
He just moved from California to Texas.
Right, he wants to be closer to Boca Chica.
Yeah. Maybe he's also sick of paying income tax. Now, that's a neat little island out there, right in that inlet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's how far back you are?
Yeah, I can see you guys ahead of me. Well, I see one of you ahead of me. And I know it's dusty because whoever it is their wheels are bouncing off that beach down there. So.
Well, what's nice down here is if I get 100 feet off the deck, my headwind is only 17 knots.
Yeah.
That helps.
You know, I have plenty of fuel. I'm going to put it to the wall. As long as I'm not in the yellow. Actually, flying straight yellow is probably not a problem.
I'm actually probably going to put myself down at the next strip, guys, because I'm going to head off to bed.
Oh, yeah.
It's better than flying asleep and falling asleep in
what's
the
this place called?
Ocracoke?
Ocracoke.
Ocracoke.
Whiskey 95. It's a 3,000 foot runway. 4 feet
Hey,
elevation.
I can die on anything.
You got to put it down nice and gentle, and end your part of the stream with a nice landing.
I will do my best. Where does the name come from? What is it? Its origins? That does not sound like an English name at all.
Ocracoke?
Ocracoke? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I know what okra is, and I know what coke is, but I don't know what they mean together.
Well, there's some homework for you, because I think it's going to be a good story, wherever it came from.
It's going to be on the test. It's Ocracoke Island. It's the cure for the common beach. That's their motto. Population of 706, area of 9.6 square miles. It's currently 51 degrees Fahrenheit, 11 Celsius.
It has an Eduardo's taco stand.
Does it?
That's on Google right there. 1718 Brewing, Ocracoke.
There's an 1823 lighthouse overlooking the village and Pamlico Sound.
Lies, lies. If it's not in the flight sim, it's not real.
The earliest record of the island's name, on a map made by English explorer John White in 1585, designates the inlet as Wokoken. Subsequent spellings include Wacocock, Okacock, and Ocracock.
PG.
The name derives from the Wakan tribe of Native Americans who lived in the mainland tidewater, established fishing and hunting outposts on the island. The inlet, the island, the village now all carry the name Ocracoke, which incidentally is pronounced like the vegetable and the soft drink.
Oh, nailed it.
There we go. So it's Native American then. That's cool.
It's a bastardization of a Native American name, yeah.
Yes.
But you can tell by the many different pronunciations.
Yeah.
It took a while to get it right. And we're not even sure.
And man, what a paradise! You could fish. You're not dying out here.
No. After World War II, a growing middle class found its way there. The Navy had paved the first road and deepened the creek, which was given the more picturesque name of Silver Lake. Because, you know, a creek becomes a lake.
Yes, as it does.
And it's now considered to be a vacation spot more than anything else.
Wow.
Yep. I posted to the Twitch stream an entire page about it.
Good. They need to get educated. They need to actually get educated like we are right now.
That's right.
Get with the program, people.
TheOcracokeGuide.com. Did you land yet?
He's about to.
Not yet.
Short
Oh,
final.
there you are. Yep.
Ocracoke traffic. Red X Cub is number 2 on short final, right behind the Cessna for touch and go.
You guys are right. You are right behind him by the looks from my angle, anyway.
Well, I was right next to him.
Yo, I'm bouncing, dude. I am bouncing everywhere.
Yeah, it's that 16 knot headwind. Oh, you also glitched.
I did for a second, eh?
2 notches of flaps. You're all over the place.
Shit! Okay, that wasn't too bad in the end.
That's
Yeah,
what matters.
You're both down because the lights disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo!
All right. Ocracoke traffic. Red X Cup is on the roll. Straight out departure. Ocracoke traffic.
I've noticed that when I watch
You got
videos,
some grass on the wheels there.
I've noticed when I watch the videos of pilots, sometimes they say the name of the airport afterward, and sometimes they don't.
For common traffic, you say before and at the beginning and at the end.
Yeah, but I'm saying I've seen them not do it sometimes, and it must just be laziness or something.
Yeah, I think it's just, comfortableness and laziness.
Well, in the case of the guy who I saw doing it today, I'm going to go with laziness because he's a former F-16 pilot. So.
Oh yeah.
I think you should comment and say, "You lazy son of a,"
Those,
just tell him.
those military guys are so lazy.
Such lazy bastards.
Well, this one's also pretty well off since he's got his own Beechcraft Premier 1 sub corporate jet. So
Yes,
if that's what lazy gets me, make me lazy, please.
Right.
He owns a medical equipment company, and like as he flies around to see his clients or goes on trips for personal stuff, he does that. And his one from this week was Monday morning. He took off from Naples, Florida, where he stays for the winter, to fly to Indianapolis, where his real house is and where his job is, because he had to go to work for the week. He says, yeah, it's a 2-hour commute to work from Naples.
Ooh, it's still a long while.
Yeah, but if he's going up for the week, he drives
That's
up,
true.
stays in
2
his
hours
house
for a whole week.
Yeah, stays up there for a week and then goes home. That's not a big deal.
No, that's true. That's very true.
All right, I'm crossing the water now. The Ocracoke Inlet.
Ocracoke.
Heading toward Portsmouth Island.
We got some funky elevations up ahead.
Back Bay mechanical harvesting of oysters. Mechanical harvesting of oysters. Now, I don't have any elevation problems, but I have that fix installed, so maybe that's why.
You do. And sometimes they're only in the low detail. Sometimes they get closer and they fix themselves.
I've noticed a lot of them used to do that, yeah, before I had the fix. It's kind of cool from my angle. This island is straight ahead of me, and it just goes down to a point at the horizon with the sun over it.
Oh, yeah.
Are you streaming this as well, Dusty?
No, I'll stream tomorrow with my group flight.
Maybe I'll co-stream tomorrow. So people can get 2 different views if they want.
Okay, I'm going to set autopilot. I need to go grab something to eat.
Okay.
Come back in a few minutes.
Try not to...
At 900 feet, 100 knots indicated, 80 knots ground speed. Wow, that's horrible.
Okay.
And Creative, are you off?
Yes, I am. Thanks, man, guys. Sorry
Hey.
I couldn't finish, but it's all good.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
joining
very much.
Absolutely. Take care.
Take care.
I'll be
All good, man. You
back
too.
in a few minutes. Oh, good. I didn't crash
Nope.
in either sense.
One of the devs for that Sky Park thing that I use sometimes isn't that he's going on vacation in South America, and his flight his first leg of his flight was from Kansas City, which is where they're based, to DFW. So I just posted in their Discord, waves. I'm sitting 10 miles west of you right now.
Funny.
And he's from there to Miami, and then Miami to Brazil. I feel like the flight lounge has been a little quiet lately.
Flight lounge? Yeah, I agree.
Seems like people are just not active. I don't know. It was like gangbusters, and then Christmas hit, and it fell right off. For those watching, the reason I keep looking off to the side is I have the Twitch stream up on my 43-inch TV off to the side, so I can just keep an eye on things. Did I catch up to you?
What's your ground speed?
Oh, 92, so I must have passed you a little bit, maybe.
No, I'm still way ahead of you. Actually, let me go out.
Maybe the sun glares.
You're catching up.
Maybe the sun glare is blinding you from.
I'm down just off the beach.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
You're like.
Yeah, you were
2
too.
o'clock?
You're too low for me to see in the top of it. That's the thing. You're back down to like 100 feet.
What's your altitude?
I'm at 1500 right now, but I'm going to come down.
Oh, where are you coming down to?
500.
Okay.
So I'll probably drop back a little as I descend. So I don't overspeed. I don't think there's anything on this flight path that's more than 100 feet, so. Did I disconnect? Oh no, I'm here. Okay. Yeah, it's still a 26 knot headwind down here. All right, I'm leveled off. I'm at about 114 indicated, 92 ground.
Yep, I'm at 92.
I love the water effects when you get down here. It really, really looks like proper ocean. The white caps and stuff. It's funny because I remember thinking how great the water looked in FSX, and now I look at this and I'm like, yeah, it's like light years ahead.
Mm-hmm.
There's a town over there that's named Sea Level. Such creative naming.
I see that.
That's one of the things I love doing, like having a little nav map up while I fly, is just to look at the different names of some of the towns and stuff. Some of the ones in Canada are just crazy. But, oh, we're only halfway. This flight's taking a lot longer than I had planned. It's that headwind.
Yeah.
I figured an hour and 45, it's going to be closer to 2.5, I bet. Or a solid 2 anyway. Oh, we're bracketing the island. That's kind of cool. Of course, at this altitude, if I lost an engine, I'm in the drink. There's no way I could coast to the land.
Sounds like poor planning on your part.
Yeah.
That's one thing I kind of want to reinforce a little bit in my flying, to think about that. Like I want to, like if I do some streaming more, I could give people the, you know how they have the stream points.
Yep.
So you could, they'd probably have something where you can redeem stream points for engine failure or something like that. And that way, at any time, a viewer can like redeem that, and I'll have to cut the engine and figure out where to land.
I'm still really good on fuel. I'll have plenty to make it. I was just concerned about that with all this headwind.
I have to switch over here soon.
Yeah, we're just about the halfway point, so.
I'm doing okay, so I should be on the right tank. Yeah. I'll be on the right tank for a while longer.
It's definitely not as scenic as mountains, but I thought about doing an inland route down the Appalachians, but decided not to.
Well, when you're flying cross country, you can't make it all pretty.
No, but I
Besides,
could have plotted this probably distance-wise. It would have been about the same to not go out here, and instead to do the inland. But I wanted to hit first flight, and I want to hit Myrtle Beach, so it just made sense to stick to the coast. I think next week's, I gotta calculate, but I think next week's will get us to Myrtle Beach, maybe down as far as Savannah.
Myrtle Beach is easy.
I think from where we're taking off from, it's pretty close to Myrtle Beach. So.
Well, Myrtle Beach, I'm looking at the map here. Myrtle Beach is less than half of the flight we're doing today.
Okay. So then the next step would either be Hilton Head or Savannah.
Well, I see Charleston. Charleston is looking. Let's see.
Charleston's about halfway down
Maybe,
the South Carolina coast, right?
Right, but it's as just as. Actually, I can just add it here. Charleston. Oh, that's an Air Force base. I don't know if you want to land at the Air Force base.
No, I'll find an airport near it. I'm not going to land at the major airports anyway, but.
Let's see, Charleston Executive. That's 135 miles past the end of this flight.
Okay, and this flight was... Well, we had 92 miles left, so it was about 190.
With the current conditions, that's an hour and 25 minutes.
So that would be reasonable to plan. And that's in Charleston, you said?
Yeah, that's Charleston.
And in Charleston to Savannah is about that same distance again, I believe, then, right?
Yeah, so Savannah Hilton, add that.
I really wanted to hit South Florida by the end of this month, but there's no way.
So that's another 45 minutes in the current condition. It's a little over 2 hours. Put those two together.
Monday's a holiday. Maybe I could do one Monday. I got stuff to do.
So Savannah's doable. It'd just be a little bit more, a little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
But that's also going down the coast. Like if you wanted to take a, if you wanted to extend the time a bit, you could sort of go up to Florence or whatever, find something scenic that'll give you that Appalachia stuff if you wanted it. and then come back down to Charleston.
Yeah,
And then,
I
like,
think
the
I think
next one.
I can do another series at some point where we explore the mountains. That's fine. I'm kind of trying to get us down into Florida, and then I was going to spend February doing Florida. So I guess if we hit Jacksonville in 2-3 more weeks, we'd be good. And then we're in Florida for February, and then come across the Gulf. Basically, I'm doing not exactly a perimeter, but I'm kind of doing a perimeter, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like Florida, I'll hop over and do the Bahamas while we're down there and stuff like that. And then when we get over, I don't even know if we'll do much with Texas. We'll just probably find a good route across it. Because I've done most of the Texas coastline, and there's nothing to write home about. From a flying standpoint, it's not a terribly exciting place. I think there's add-on scenery on FlightSim.to now, though, for Johnson Space Center, so it might be nice to fly over that. And then angle up toward New Mexico.
So Savannah to Jacksonville is about an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay. So we can probably make it to St. Augustine then. That's like maybe a 20 or minutes or half hour further.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one would be St. Augustine to maybe even Titusville, because Daytona's not far from St. Augustine, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Daytona is just north a bit of the Space Coast.
Right.
And then Titusville, of course, is inland.
Is the Space Coast, yeah.
Yeah.
And you already did a chunk of that, so.
I did.
I landed at one that was on an island just south of the Space Coast. I'd have to look on a little map and see where it is.
The Cape Canaveral Air Force Station? Or further?
Nope, this was a private.
Merritt Island?
Merritt Island, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a kind of neat little airport to come in and out of, just scenic. Maybe
See, it actually juts out to the water a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking from there, maybe head out to the Bahamas. And skip that chunk of Florida coast and then come back in at Miami and down to the Keys. I want to fly the Keys. Land at Marathon and then land at Key West.
Well, so from Cape Canaveral, or at least, like Merritt Island.
Yeah.
It's pretty far south to the Bahamas, Grand Bahamas.
So maybe go down the coast to Miami and then shoot over.
Or at least down to Palm Beach, which is the north end of that whole shit show.
Yep.
Jupiter, Palm Beach. There is
we're going to be banking right here in a few minutes, just so you know.
Okay.
To follow those that coastline in.
But yeah, then so down to Palm Beach and then over to the Bahamas. I don't know if you want to like go down, because the Bahamas go like south of the Keys.
Yeah, I know. I got to look at it on a map, and I got to really plot it out. I've been kind of doing it one stage at a time, and then I plan it, based on what seems fun at that time. But I wasn't even thinking about the Bahamas until we just started talking, and I'm like, well, the Bahamas are fun to fly around. I mean, I've done flights there. It's a kind of fun place. So.
Yeah, we could just do the North of Grand Bahamas. What is this over here?
Maybe after we get past
Harbor.
the Keys, I'll just teleport us somewhere and start somewhere else, because you're by the way, you're going out to sea. I'm starting to turn in.
Oh, did I pass up? Okay.
You just went under me. Like seconds ago.
Yeah, that's the turn.
But I'm thinking maybe after we do the Keys, I'll just teleport us to somewhere more fun and continue. Maybe do some of the southern Appalachians and West
there you are,
Virginia's
right
got
there.
some nice hills. Yeah, I'm just making my bank. And then I think I'd probably switch out planes before I do anything in the west, just because the altitude on this plane is not great for, you know.
No, once you get up to close to 10,000, it doesn't do well.
Yeah, really about 8,000 is about all I'm comfortable with in this plane.
Especially in the winter. I mean,
I took
to have to
off.
try to deal with ice and
Well,
stuff.
I took off out of Sedona the other morning, and I had to spiral up to get high enough to get around the cliffs around Sedona.
Oh man.
Yeah, I could not.
And altitude's what, like 5,000 there?
The airport's
Ish?
4,200. Yeah.
Okay.
And coming out of it, I had to go east, and I'm looking east, and I'm like, no way. So I spiraled up out of the airport. I mean, you used to spiral down into airports, but it's the first time I've ever had to spiral up out of an airport, because the 172 just didn't have the climb, and that was the plane I was using for that set of flights. And but it turned out okay. It was a lot longer climb than I had planned. It probably took me 5 minutes to climb out of that little valley. Whereas if I'd been in a Baron or even a Caravan, I could have shot right up out of there. Or I'm sure with that horsepower of that plane you're in, you could have shot out of there, no problem. Oh
yeah, this one works pretty well in high density altitude.
Yeah. Low density.
It has the extra power for that.
Yeah. Ocean looks a little squirrely at my 2 o'clock. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's one of those places where it's trying to fix an elevation issue or what. That bay doesn't look right.
Well, there are islands in there.
Yeah, maybe it's just coloration due to that. I think it might be. This is one of those times when a little altitude I'd be able to tell better. Oh, that's good. I just got an email. There's something I ordered on a Kickstarter, and it shipped on December 5th, and I still haven't seen it. Shipping from the UK, and the guy and I have been going back and forth because he shipped in a way, he must have done some sort of bulk shipping, didn't have tracking, and he just emailed me and said, here's a tracking number, I'm shipping you a new set. It's some books I ordered.
Oh wow.
And I said, I'll pay shipping for tracking if that's what it takes. He's like, nope, I'll absorb it. You didn't get a product you rightfully paid for, so I'll cover it. So that's pretty good.
Cool.
And
that's service.
That's service, exactly. And he says if the others show up, give them to a friend. I don't want them back. I'm like, okay. Can't complain there. Yeah, this looks like another one of those little really expensive touristy beach town areas. So I'm going to go left out more over the water as we pass this Fort Macon, just to cut the trip a little bit. I was originally going to go a little more inland than that, but and I'm tempted to pick up altitude again, but I know the stupid wind will kill me. I'm going to pour on a little.
Well, I'm at 1,000 feet. I got 26 knot.
Okay, well I'm at 23 at 500, so maybe I'll go up to 1,000 and see how that serves me. Let me go up to 1,000 and see how we do. Just a windy day, I guess.
The town over here is called Beaufort.
Yep.
They have a pretty big airfield too. 3 airstrips. Runways.
On the mainland or on this island?
At our 3 o'clock
Oh,
mainland there.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked at that as one of the possible stopping points for today. Which, I mean, we could abort and stop early and continue somewhere else next week, I guess. But I want to kind of cover the ground. Like I said, I want to get to Florida. So if you need to bail or something, I get it. I'll finish it on my own.
No, I got the time.
The heck is that? Some kind of complex over there on that island.
That's the shipping on the map. It's a port, North Carolina port.
I was gonna say it did look like it could be a port. Yep. Off of Morehead City.
Yep, just past the Ruddy Duck Tavern.
Gosh, MRH has plenty of runways, huh? KMRH, Smith.
Yeah, that's the one. They've got 3.
Yep.
Yeah, Smith.
I noticed, I think it was yesterday, I was flying in Texas. Midland, Texas. They've renamed the international airport there. It's now Midland International Airport and Spaceport. It's nowhere near where Musk's stuff is, so I don't know what... I think they might have done it just thinking someday it'll be a spaceport.
Well, does it have anything to do with the Space Force? Do you have any
It
operations
was
there?
renamed before that, so I don't know. It's not a military. It's a regular airport. But I just thought it was neat that they call it that. And I looked, I'm like, is the runway long enough that they could have landed shuttles there? Maybe that's why. Nope.
They don't have like a Virgin Atlantic
I didn't see anything.
air launches or anything there?
I didn't see anything.
What is it called? Where is it at?
Midland International Airport and Spaceport, Midland, Texas. Midland International Air and Spaceport. There is a spaceport business park. It is FAA approved as a commercial space launch site. It is the first space launch facility to be co-located with a major commercial airport. That's actually pretty cool. It's in the middle of an empty desert, so Midland's a big oil town. Sloan Field. I knew it was called Sloan Field before. In 2014, it was licensed by the FAA to serve commercial spaceflight.
Now, the problem with inland launches like that is that you need a huge downfield, or you need a range where you can drop boosters and not.
And also, if there's an issue, and also if there's an issue, you want downrange where it's not going to hit a population center.
Exactly.
And if you go east of there, I mean, it's more northeast, but there's Abilene and then there's a Dallas-Fort Worth complex, metroplex. So It's not a straight shot by any means.
Ton of oil drills there too.
Yep. It's, like I said, that's
I
an
don't know
oil
if they're all
town.
running, but they have. But it's just a giant grid of
Yep.
little dirt.
If you look just to the, I think it's just to the west, northwest of Abilene, there's a huge windmill farm. Actually, just to the west. Maybe even a little southwest. Huge windmill farm.
I don't know where Abilene
It's northeast of Midland.
I'm at Midland right now.
Yeah, if you look on the I-20 and follow that northeast, Abilene's like 130 miles maybe.
There you go, right past Sweetwater.
But that's how windmill farms are in Texas. They just take this big chunk of desert and fill them up with windmills. That's how we maintain our energy independence. It was an interesting thing I learned after I moved here was that the Texas is energy independent. It has its own power grid. There's 3 grids in the U.S. The East grid, the West grid, and the Texas grid. So this guy who's flying to Brazil posted a picture from the window of his plane as he's sitting at the terminal in DFW. Just of the terminal. One guy replies, "Nice graphics."
Yeah. What add-on is this?
I replied back, he has a DFW upgrade installed. Actually, DFW is one of the ones that got redone when they did the US upgrade. And they did a really nice job of it. Looks really
so weird to see a trailer park. Is this a trailer?
Probably.
This is weird. It kind of
You're looking
looks
right
like
at
a massive RV parking or something.
Just to the west of the Abilene airport?
No, I'm back in the game.
Oh, okay.
I'm flying over it. But in the game, it makes it look like a whole bunch of jumbled together like buildings, just kind of right next to each other. But they're obviously some kind of RV.
Where the heck are you?
Parking. I'm at your 4 o'clock on the other side of the spit. I don't know how far away I am though.
Far enough so I don't see your lights.
I see your lights. Barely.
Are you over near the mainland?
I'm just on the other side of the spit.
Huh. Nope, definitely do not see you. Weird.
Are my lights are on? My lights are on.
Yeah, but is anybody home?
I'm at 1,000 feet.
Yeah, I'm at 1,000.
I'm level with you.
Oh well. I think I like having the elevation profile up too, just mainly so that somebody can look at the stream and see how far through the flight I am.
Yeah, that does help.
Clouds are nice today. I prefer a little bit of cloud when I'm flying, you know?
Exactly.
Gives the sky some
looks
texture.
a lot boring.
Yep. I'm really bothered by the fact I can't see you.
Well, I can see you. I can't see your plane, but I can see.
Oh,
your
I vaguely
light.
see your lights. Yes. Yep. I just spotted you. Okay. Alright.
Uh-oh, I'm starting to get low fuel.
Are you? There should be
Well,
somebody
it
land
complains about low fuel when I get down to about 10 gallons. Or maybe it's 5?
I've still got
really look.
I've still got almost 20, so you might want to land and refuel. You can certainly catch
Yeah,
up
I've
to
got
me easy enough.
4.7 gallons in the right tank.
You probably
The
should have
left tank
landed at
is
Smith back
7.3.
there. I can circle somewhere for a few minutes.
Well, how much further do we have to go? About
56 nautical miles.
30 minutes? 30 minutes is only going to be about 4 gallons of burn.
Well, I'm pulling 105 knots now, so ground, so yeah. So probably, yeah, half hour. You're gonna be close.
Yeah, because I can easily burn 4 gallons of fuel. It's just going to complain about low fuel the rest of the way.
There's a field right there at R3.
Yeah, I thought about going over there, but I just did the math.
Okay.
33 minutes left, and or maybe even less, about 33 minutes at 12 gallons per minute, 12 gallons per hour. That's, 36 round up, 3.6 round up to 4 gallons. I got 7 in the left tank and 4 in the right tank. It doesn't give me the reserve I would want in real life, but this is a sim, so who cares?
Yeah. I want to think about it, but I might skip the next chunk and start us down there in Daytona or something. You know me though, I hate teleporting. I hate continuity, bro. I don't like having discontinuity.
Well, are you really that short on time?
I don't know, I gotta look at the
'Cause I
legs
think
and figure it out. What I wanted to do was do the south through like March and then start heading more north again. Maybe in the west or the Midwest. Well, the Midwest is fucking boring. Maybe maybe more in the mountain states or something like that. Start heading north. But part of me wants to see what I can do with the Cessna in those mountains, because that might be fun to find courses through where I can stay at the low enough altitudes.
Yeah, there's a limit though. I've looked at like Colorado area, and you get into those mountains and you can't really stay below 10,000.
It's hard.
Anywhere.
Yeah, it's hard.
You're looking for like 12,000, 13,000 foot passageways to get over.
Maybe I'll just switch over to the Baron. The Baron can handle like 14, 16,000 comfortably. I don't want to run the Caravan. The Caravan's an okay plane when I'm doing like my hauling missions or whatever, but it's not really a good plane for visibility or fun.
Yeah, it's not a personal plane.
It's a bus
at all. It's a business
bus.
plane. Yeah.
I found out DHL uses them to actually haul freight.
Do they?
Yeah. And that's like if I was going to haul freight up in Alaska or something, that would be a perfect plane to use. It can handle a short runway. It can haul a lot of shit. It can handle altitude. It can handle weather. That's the other thing. If I get into those mountains, well, I won't be getting into those mountains till spring, so it shouldn't be bad weather-wise as far as icing. I don't know. I got a little bit of time to figure that out. I definitely would like to do Florida, and now that I thought about it, the Bahamas. South Florida. Mm-hmm. Maybe do the Daytona. Maybe swing it differently. Maybe do Daytona over to Orlando and Tampa, Daytona down to the Space Coast, then over to Orlando, Tampa, down the West Coast. From Naples to Key West is a pretty good jaunt, and then up the Keys to Miami, then do the Bahamas, and then teleport somewhere. If I'm going to get into teleporting, then maybe I can do it that way. And then teleport maybe up to Knoxville, do some of those hills up there as spring comes around.
Well, and all you got to do is say, I parked my plane, took a commercial flight out to the Bahamas, and rented one.
That's true. That's true. And then next winter, when I want to continue, I know my plane's in Miami.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
Or you're a rich motherfucker who just bought a plane. You own multiple planes.
Just sold it, and okay, I'm done with this one. This pair of shoes is dirty. I'm gonna swap it for another one.
Just abandon it in transient parking.
Yep. Sign on the window, free to a good home. I just looked. I've got 306 hours on this plane. I'm coming up on my 700-hour mark in FS 2020 overall. I've been really getting into the Longitude lately. I've been enjoying the Learjet.
Oh, yeah?
It's a different experience, but it's kind of neat to be able to go some of the places I can go with it that I can't with other planes. Last night I took the Baron from, right at dusk, I took off from Glacier National Park in Montana, and I flew it up to Kelowna, which is in British Columbia, over the mountains as it was dusk. It was gorgeous, so beautiful. 11,000 feet, so I was just over the mountains. The mountains are around 9,000. It was a beautiful, beautiful flight. Not something I could do in the Cessna or even the Bonanza.
No. The X-Cub could do it.
The X-Cub could do it.
Just need your,
the icing might be a problem.
Just need to get your tail endorsement.
The icing might be a problem.
Well, yeah. Depends on the weather. Oh, you're cutting inland.
Yeah. Just a little. Just mainly because the nav point I picked was a little bit inland.
I'm just, I got it in heading mode. I'm just heading down the beach.
That works. I'll be coming back out to the beach, a couple miles. Turning right over Sneed's Ferry. My Fitbit. It's been another hour and you haven't got up. What are you doing?
Says your Fitbit.
Says my Fitbit, yeah. I usually get up every hour and walk around for 5 minutes just to get a little bit of exercise.
Just to shut it up.
Well, and I mean it's good for me. I live a pretty sedentary life at this point, so anything I can do to get even a little bit of extra exercise is good.
It reminds me of my, they have this ergonomic software in my work PC. It basically reminds you, it's been 55 minutes, you need to take a 5-minute break.
Yep. That's kind of what the Fitbit does for me. 10 minutes to the hour every hour. It says, hey, it's time, you know? But the main reason I have the Fitbit is for sleep tracking and cardiac tracking. And it's really good for both of those. Heart rate and stuff. sleep tracking is amazingly good. Like it does a chart through the night that shows you, and if I'm having a bad night, it'll show. Like I'll wake up, and then the next morning I'll check the chart, and it has every spot that I woke up or whatever. It does it all
Yeah.
based on a combination of your heart rate, your movement. It's pretty crazy how easy it is for them to get those metrics just from that, from a thing on my wrist.
Well, it all comes down to.
That's got to be a hotel or something right there on the beach, huh? Right between us.
I know where you are.
Oh, you must have got ahead or something.
It's well, I'm coming close to being. I'm coming close to passing where your waypoint is. Oh, you mean on the beach?
Yeah, right on the beach. There's a big. It looks like a resort. Big structures.
Oh, the big V-shaped buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are definitely
Resort.
beach resorts.
Yeah.
A couple of them have some large pools to go with them.
Got these nice houses with their own docks and the little inlet here. Lagoons.
Got a bunch of those over here too. They have their own dredged out inlets.
Yep. Oops. They have the traffic misaligned. There's a road down there and the traffic's driving about 15 feet off the side of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fairly common.
Yeah. If you need to slow down for fuel consumption, we can. I've got it pretty much cranked out right now.
I'm doing 130 knots indicated, which works out to about 114 ground speed, and I'm just under 12 gallons per hour, so that works.
Okay. I think I'm going to be in the yellow when we land. I'm burning about 17, 18 gallons per hour right now, and I've got about 15 gallons left. And we have 35 nautical miles to go, so we have about 20 minutes. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's. You'll have the gas.
I
You
don't
just
like
have
to.
the reserve.
I don't like to see it hitting the yellow. So. Oh, that bridge was pretty well rendered. I just flew over. They need to work on the variety of the trees, though. Florida has like not enough palm trees, and there's more trees of other types that shouldn't be there.
Yep.
I
I'm not
noticed
even
that.
sure I've ever seen. Do they have real palm? I guess they do.
What?
I've seen them in screenshots, like palm trees.
Yeah, I've seen them, but they're
I
not.
never see
They're
them.
not common. They're not as much as they should be. Like if I'm in Miami, pretty much every tree I see should be a palm tree, and they're not. A lot of them are regular
Right.
deciduous trees.
Yeah, it just doesn't make
That's a
sense.
trailer park if I ever saw one right there on the beach. Holy crap, that's like a whole trailer park town. Oh, I can see the airport on my radar, so that means it's within within 25 miles, because I'm on a 50-mile setting. Let me, no, we're probably too far out to get ATIS on it. Probably don't need to, we know what the wind is. It's an east-west runway, I believe. Actually, I can pull it up in Navigraph on my other computer. 03.
There's no ATIS or AWAS at Pilot's Ridge, but it's not far from Wilmington, and that has ATIS. 124.9.
You kidding me? The airport isn't in Navigraph. Well, that's a fail. All right.
What's not in Navigraph?
03 NC airport. All right.
It is if you're, but you're using the Navigraph
app
as a source, right?
Yeah. No, I went to my Navigraph application and looked it up, and it's not showing up. It's okay. So, what do the runways look like here?
So 09 and 27.
Okay.
So it looks like we're landing 27. It's 2,900 feet. At 35-foot altitude.
Pilot's Ridge. Yeah, 27 is what we're going to land. Yeah. And we're going to have a heavy crosswind again.
Actually, it looks down the numbers.
Oh, actually, no.
I have a
It'll be pretty.
291.
You're right. You're right. It'll probably
Yeah.
be pretty close. Yeah. What's the runway length? 3,000 by 40. It's got a 250-foot overrun in soft sand, just in case we miss it. It's a privately owned
talking
airport.
about Pilot's Ridge?
Yeah. I didn't realize it was a private airport. I don't usually use private airports. That was a bad on my part.
Oh, we can go to Wilmington International instead.
Yeah.
KILM. We're headed right for it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So they have a runway 24 and a runway 35. So 24. God, it's just split right down the middle between 24 and 35. But they have AWAS. Let's see if they say active runway. Two-four is in use.
So runway 24.
So that's pretty much straight in for us.
Okay. I'm just gonna get a lock on it in my Jeep and my so I know where I'm going. I've switched over to heading mode anyway. Oh, there we go. Okay. What are you doing? KIL. There we go. KILM. Enter, activate. Now I know where the airport is. Maybe. There we go. Alright. And we're almost on heading for it right now, actually. I'm going to come a little bit right.
Yeah.
I'm going to come right 250. I see you zipping across in front of me there.
Yeah, I'm also doing the same. I'm lining up for a final.
Four. I'm going to just set the RNAV so I have it as a, if I want it.
We have ILS too if you want to play with that.
RNAV's fine. The weather's good. I can handle making minor adjustments. Oh, that's lining me up perfect. Screw that. I'm taking it. Like it's perfectly positioned for me. It's just gonna take me a little bit inland and line me right up. Back to my work smarter, not harder theory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna come up to 1500 because I'm coming in a little bit low for this area. So I just need to make a note that we landed at KILM instead. And figure out what our next best option is from there for next time. If we shot from here straight to Knoxville, we fly over a pretty cool set of mountains, Southern Appalachians. Maybe I'll do that instead of the Florida shot. Some bumpy air.
A little bit. It's not too bad for me. I'm at 1,000 feet.
I came up thinking it would help, but it hasn't really. Alright, I'm on course for Wilmington.
Okay, where you're at. Alright, I'll be kind of cutting in front of you.
I see you. At least I assume it's you. Yeah, it's gotta be.
There we go. Finally stopped being pegged.
Are you ILSing it?
Yeah.
I can see the flashing lights at the end of the runway.
Yes. 38. Yeah.
— 8,000 feet, asphalt, 150 feet wide. .228 true, but it's 240. That's or 24. That's funny. I would expect it to be runway 23.
I have 238 for the ILS anyways.
Yeah, I'm just looking at what SkyVector says. Yeah, I'm on 238 coming in.
Ah, airstrip's in sight.
I would hope so by now.
Well, it was kind of hard to see with the sun in my eyes.
Oh, okay, yeah. I get that. Yeah, I was originally going to ILM, and then I made the change to NC or 03 NC because I was like, I don't want to land at a big airport. But I didn't think to check this morning, is it a private airport or a public one? So I'm glad I looked. Have some farmer coming out with a shotgun.
Mm-hmm. Already above the glide slope, so to speak. Although that doesn't mean shit for this aircraft.
Yeah. I'm just picking up the glide slope. I'm throttling back. Hopefully I did it soon enough I can lose enough speed. Go to idle for a minute. Yeah, no problem.
Of course, we got a rather fierce quartering headwind.
Yeah, I don't see you at the moment. Did you land?
I'm on final.
Oh, there you are. Yep, there you are.
Probably only a mile out.
Yep. I'm about 4 miles out. I just turned on my landing lights. Hey, my monitor's here. I ordered one of those portable monitors I'm going to try out for something. I'm thinking of making it a companion monitor when I fly to put things like a little nav map on. And then when I'm working, I'm going to use it as a secondary monitor for my laptop. It's 15-inch, so. And it has both HDMI and USB-C, so I should be able to hook up to it for everything I need. Except I'm trying to remember if I have an HDMI port on my video card. I think I do.
My tail doesn't want to stay on the ground because of the headwind.
Yeah, I'm just crossing the highway here, 40. You must be down now, though.
9023. Yeah. X-ray is clear of the runway.
I am watching fog or something blow in. Like literally as I'm landing, I'm watching it approaching.
Huh. I didn't see anything like that.
Yeah. I don't know if you've got my stream up, but if you pop over to it, you'll see it. Like it's enveloping the runway. Half of the runway.
Here. Yeah, you're right. You basically have ground level clouds.
Yeah, we call it fog.
Is that what that's called?
That's what we call it, you know, in this part of Texas anyway. Yeah, fog.
On my screen, you're negative 60 feet altitude.
On my screen, I'm 50 feet above the ground, so.
Is that?
Your altimeter's off. Should be
no, I mean, it's
29 or 69.
The game.
Oh.
No, the way I set my altimeter doesn't have anything to do with the number that pops up by your name.
65 foot per minute landing. I'll take it.
Nice.
It was a little crooked because of that wind, but.
It's buttery. It looked buttery on my screen.
Yeah. Where'd you exit runway?
I'm kind of behind you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't use.
Yeah, I landed on the numbers and basically stopped within a couple hundred feet.
And that was no flaps. That was a flapless landing.
Sounds like an insult. Your landing was flapless.
No flappy in my landing. Alright, I'm going to cut across this runway here and taxi over to parking. So that Sky Park thing, you can do deliveries for 2 organizations. One is called Clear Sky, and that's the above board stuff. And then there's one called Coyote, which is black market stuff. And it's funny stuff they have you do. But we were talking about it the other day. We're like, if you're doing a Coyote flight, you probably should turn off your transponder and maybe your lights.
Right.
Don't announce yourself. It doesn't enforce anything like that at this point, but they're looking at what they can tie into FS to see to give you penalties or something.
Because I mean, the Coyote stuff is basically kind of reputation based, right?
It's all reputation
they both
based.
Are, but...
You got what happens is you do missions, you earn either positive karma or negative karma. And for some of the higher end Coyote stuff, you have to have a certain negative rating, and for some of the higher end Clear Sky stuff, you have to have a certain positive rating.
Right.
And there's a lot of
stuff.
Once
you go with one or the other, it kind of ruins your reputation with the opposite one. Is that how it works?
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, you're not going to get as many good jobs from the other one.
Right.
You can still take jobs for the opposing, but they'll be low grade jobs until you prove yourself and change your karma, basically. You're kind of choosing the dark side or the light side, I guess would be one way to put it, All right, I'm going to terminate stream here. So for those of you watching, thank you for watching. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you. Bye.